Hello and welcome back to Alright Guns. Today we're taking a look at the Webley & Scott Pro Comps. Yes, today we're taking a look at the Webley & Scott Pro Comps, and we're not looking at just one, but we've got both stock versions. So I spotted this metal stocked version at the shooting show at the NEC this year, and I wasn't a fan when I first saw it. Nothing against this gun, I'm not a fan at all of metal stocks on guns, the TSK stocks, things like that. They just really aren't for me. But not to worry though, because we also have the wood version, which has the same sort of features, but you know, a little bit less adjustable and in a more traditional look. So I put a video out a couple of months ago where we were looking at the prototypes of these guns. Got to give them a shoot and have a good look around them, and to be honest, I'd quite like shooting them. These production models haven't changed a huge amount, although there are some things, mainly visually. The prototypes had a blue line that sort of ran around here, and on these all you're getting is the blue dot on the hinge pin. So what are these guns designed to do? They're really here to maximise how many features of top level guns you can get on a entry level gun. So let's look at the options first. There aren't many. I mean, this has just been released, so you know, I'm sure there'll be others to follow. But basically you can only get these in a 12 bore with options of 30 or 32 inch barrels, and then obviously the options for each stock. In terms of weight, they come in at 4.1 kilos for the steel stock, and then for the wood stock it's 3.8 kilos. They do come in a nice plastic carry case as well. So please let me know in the comments which version you think you'd go for, either the metal or the wood versions. I'd love to hear what the opinions are out there. Quickly before we move on, we need to thank Shooting Sports UK for lending us both guns to test out today. Please go and give them a look and see what they can do for you. Okay, so looking at the pads first, I'll start with the wood. So on the wood version, it's quite a normal looking rubber pad, quite squishy and grippy, with a blue spacer in there. And on the metal, this one's really interesting. So this looks like an absolute copy of a Beretta Microcore pad. Even got the same lines around it. It looks identical. The pad would fit on both is really, really well done. Fits pretty much perfectly. On both guns as standard, the length of pull is 14 3/4 inches, as you'd expect. Now the wood on these is a Turkish walnut. Let's get the wood one to really show off what you're getting. There we go. I mean, to me that's gonna be, I don't know, grade 2, solid grade 2. It's got a bit of life in there. What I would say is they both benefit from a little bit more oil on there. They are quite dry, and I think a bit of oil would really bring out the grain in them. So moving on to the big selling point of this gun is this grip. So, I mean, look at that. This is cut out so your thumb goes in there, and it really doesn't. It's the ultimate way of sort of locking your hand in the position so you get that repeatability every shot. The checkering is machine done, but it's absolutely fine, grippy enough, and there is a bit of a palm swell in there as well, you know, just to lock your hand in there even further. Okay, let's talk about the stocks. This being the wood one is only adjustable here, so you can adjust the comb height, and you do that by undoing these two bolts. It comes off, you can put some blue spacers in there to keep it in place, pop it back down and tighten it up. On the other one, there's lots of options. So, these two bolts here, they work, you loosen those off and that lets you adjust your length of pull, and then you can undo these bolts here, which change the angle at which the pad sits on a sort of rocker, so that's nice. And then the comb changes exactly the same as the other one. Also, you've got this big blue lump sticking out here, and this is to adjust the balance. So all you do is untighten that one, move it backwards and forwards to adjust how the gun feels. Okay, so wood to metal fit isn't awful. It's pretty good, to be honest, as it goes. There's a little bit of a gap in certain places, but you know, for the money, it's absolutely fine. The action is very, I don't know, it reminds me of a Bet & Solly, or maybe the 1000 series Webleys, the way it locks in. The outside itself is cerakoted in black, so hopefully, you know, people won't have any trouble with that. That's going to stay on there. You do get the blue dot on the hinge pin. In terms of engraving, next to nothing, but there is some marking. So you've got Pro Comp on the side, and on the bottom you've got the Webley and Scott logo, and that also carries on to the bottom of the pistol grip. So the safety catch is very much in a Beretta style. Forwards and backwards for safe, and then it's got the tab that moves across to select your barrel. The top lever, again, cerakoted with some knurling on both sides. It works just fine, nothing really special. As for the trigger, this is really cool. So this is an adjustable trigger, so you can fine tune your length of pull. In terms of trigger pull, it's a bit heavy. You know, it's crisp, but it's a bit heavy. And of course that's a mechanical trigger because it went off both times. So these guns are chambered in 3-inch, so if you want to put some magnums through them, that's not a problem. They're proof for seal as well, so again, future-proof in that way. And the barrels are bored out to 18.5 on the top and 18.6 on the bottom. The ejectors are fairly uninspiring, very standard, but they work just fine. The forend is a bit of a beaver tail, really, very slightly. It's not massive, it's quite nice to hold. The checkering covers the bottom, it doesn't go around to the sides too much, it's fine. You remove it by this lever here, pop it off, and we can see it's a single piece iron in there. It's okay. The Cerakote carries on into the bits of the forend as well. Again, moving on to the barrel, so the Cerakote continues all the way up, so a nice matte finish, you know, no glare on this gun, it's pretty well covered for that. The mid and top rib are both ventilated, with the top rib being a parallel 10mm. You get a mid bead, little tiny silver one, and then a red fibre optic at the top. The gun comes with 5 extended chokes, and they all come with this blue band round them to set off the sort of blue theme of the gun. Okay, so let's talk about balance. The metal stock version, balance is quite far back, so you know, you're talking a good inch beyond the hinge pin due to the weight of that stock. I did try it with the weights removed completely, and it does bring it forward a little bit to about ½ an inch behind the hinge pin still. If we look at the other one, the woodstock version, this one is a little bit front heavy, and there we are, about 3/4 of an inch in front of the hinge pin there. So these guns come with a 5-year warranty, which is pretty good. You know, it's about average for what people are offering at this sort of level. So in terms of value, I think these guns are absolutely excellent. Thinking of the features you get on these and what you'd have to spend to get them on other guns, you know, double, triple, even, you know, quadruple the amount of money to get what these guns have got. But let's be honest for a minute, they're not finished to the same standard as these other guns. You know, even guns that may be £600 more, they're not finished to the same standard. But then again, those guns don't come with all these features. So you need to weigh up for yourself. Is it worth having all this adjustment, all these, you know, features for you? Or would you go for a better finish? But then again, you're not going to have that extra money in your pocket as well. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.